So I made this beat in a pack of beats. This was the second one out of pack, and I was going through some things at the time, and this was what helped me get through it. That's why I called the project Cope. And after making this one, this was the second one. I was listening to it, I was like, okay, might have something here. So that's why I called this one the Foundation. Everything I made, everything going into the beat is simple. I start off with this loop that I got. It's real simple. Ain't really have much to work with this one. And that's pretty much it. And then usually the way I make my beats, I have a sound, like one sound, and then I'll build around it. So when I heard this, I added that to it, and then I wanted to just fill out the sound, let it fill out all together. And then the way I structure my songs is usually chorus, verse. I want the verse to be stripped down because I want to give it room for the rapper or the artist, whoever's working on it, to sort of make it their own. And so I usually take the background sounds, or I take the sounds that I use to fill out chorus with, I take those and I make those the verse, and I just kind of change the drums up so it's not the same thing the whole time. That part right there, I'm pretty proud of that part, because I was just clicking around, or I was just playing around on the keyboard, and then I'm not really good at the keyboard, so what I'll do is I usually play it out, and then I'll take it, and then I'll actually map it out and press it in myself. And so I put that in the middle of the verse to keep it interesting, because the main thing with making beats is it's okay to be a little repetitive, but at the same time, you really want to change it up so that you keep the listener engaged. Because when you can keep your listener engaged to the beat, even if the artist ain't that good, as a producer or as a music maker or anything, the best thing you can hear if the song isn't good is, hey, the song was trash, but the beat was fire though. Because that lets you know you did your job. That lets you know you showed up and you did everything you possibly could for the song. It's not a way to throw the artist under the bus, but it lets you know that it's not you. And then as far as drums, one thing I've learned, especially while making beats, is that simplicity isn't always the best way, but less is more in terms of the way music is being produced now. A lot of it is made in a hurry, so the drums aren't allowed to be as complex, but at the same time, make less work for you. You won't have to do that much work. And so getting into this part, into the drums, the way I usually do it is I'll have the sample part, and then I'll make drums for the sample part to kind of get the basis of the beat. And then once it goes into the verse, I'll just keep the hi-hats and the claps the same. Like if you notice, when you're going from the chorus right here, going straight into the verse, for the most part, I literally kept the drums the same, and the only thing I changed to make it more interesting was the hi-hats. I added some rolls in, going right into this part. So the first bar, you can keep that the same, but then after the first bar, you kind of want to change it up just a little bit, just to keep the listener engaged, to keep them guessing where is it going next, and also to break repetition. Usually when you break repetition, or when you keep the listener engaged, you want to let it get busy, get hype. Yeah, get hype is what you really want to do. And the way I have it set up, I have my 808s, they get busy. Like, I want them to do the most. And then I'll have my kicks come in and sort of extra punch. Because a lot of mistakes a lot of people do, especially that I did when I first started making beats, my kicks would be quieter than my 808s, and that's not something you want to do. One thing you notice, anytime I make my beats, I always make it my business to make my kicks a lot louder than my 808s, so that when the kicks come in, you can feel that thump, and it makes the 808 hit harder. The way it works is, in order to keep the 808s just from doing too much, you'll have more kicks than you'll have 808s. So you notice here, if I solo out my 808 versus when I go to my kick, it's a few extra notes that kind of come in at the tail end of the 808 or at the very beginning, so it sounds like the 808 is doing the exact same thing as the kick when it's really not. For the most part, that's pretty much it. Drums, and when you let it all come together, that's what it sounds like. If you want to see more videos of me breaking down beats, make sure you leave a like and leave a comment, especially if you want to see certain aspects about it. Make sure you leave a comment and let me know what you did like, what you didn't like, things like that. If you want to see more videos like this, or if you want to see videos that Keem make where he's vlogging or talking about shoes, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, and we'll see you next time.